Welcome to StoryWise English, where tales, fables, and history come alive to help you master the English language. Today, we are going to learn the life story of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. Let the power of stories guide your learning journey. Let's begin.
The Prophecy and the Birth of Siddhartha. Over 2,500 years ago, in the Śākya kingdom of Kapilavastu, near the Himalayan foothills, King Śuddhodana and Queen Māyā eagerly awaited the birth of their child. One night, Queen Māyā had a vivid dream, in which a radiant white elephant holding a lotus flower entered her womb. Court astrologers, including the wise sage Asita, interpreted the dream as a divine omen. This child will either become a great king or a spiritual savior, Asita declared. King Śuddhodana, determined to see his son as a ruler, resolved to shield him from anything that could awaken spiritual inclinations. When Prince Siddhartha was born in Lumbini, miraculous signs marked his arrival. The earth trembled, lotus flowers bloomed under his tiny feet, and celestial beings rejoiced. Despite the celebrations, Asita grew tearful. "Why do you cry?" asked the king. "I cry because I am old," replied Asita. "I will not live to see the greatness of this child." Siddhartha's birth was celebrated throughout the kingdom, and Queen Māyā passed away soon after, leaving her sister Mahaprajapat to raise the prince. A life of luxury and isolation. As Siddhartha grew, he excelled in every skill befitting a prince: swordsmanship, archery, philosophy, and leadership. His cousin, Devadatta, often envied him, while his close friend Channa, the royal charioteer, admired his wisdom and gentle nature. Siddhartha's half-brother, Nanda, enjoyed teasing him for his thoughtful demeanor. At 16, Siddhartha married Princess Yashodhara, a woman of extraordinary grace and intelligence. Together, they lived a life of splendor in grand palaces, surrounded by gardens, music, and feasts. Yet, despite the luxury, Siddhartha felt an emptiness he couldn't explain. The four sights. One day, Siddhartha convinced Channa to take him beyond the palace walls. Disguised as a commoner, Siddhartha ventured into the bustling streets of Kapilavastu. There, he encountered his first sight: an old man, frail and bent with age. "Channa, what is wrong with this man?" Siddhartha asked. "This is old age, my lord. It happens to everyone," replied Channa. On another outing, Siddhartha saw his second sight: a sick man groaning in pain. "Why does this man suffer?" Siddhartha inquired. "He is ill, my lord. Sickness spares no one," Channa answered. The third sight shocked Siddhartha even more. He saw a lifeless corpse being carried to the cremation ground, surrounded by wailing family members. "Will this happen to me, Channa?" "Will I also die?" Siddhartha asked, his voice trembling. "Yes, my lord. Death is inevitable for all," Channa replied. But it was the fourth sight that inspired hope. Siddhartha saw a serene ascetic walking barefoot, clothed in rags, but radiating peace. "Who is this man, Channa?" "He is a seeker of truth, my lord, searching for freedom from suffering," Channa explained. These encounters awakened Siddhartha to the harsh realities of life and set him on a path of spiritual inquiry. The Great Renunciation. Though Yashodhara had recently given birth to their son, Rahula, Siddhartha could not ignore his growing desire to understand the cause of suffering. One night, he stood at the balcony of his palace, gazing at the sleeping forms of Yashodhara and Rahula. "Forgive me," he whispered. "I must leave to find the truth for all of humanity." Accompanied by Channa, Siddhartha rode his horse, Kantaka, beyond the palace gates. At the forest's edge, Siddhartha dismounted and cut off his long hair with a sword, discarding his princely garments. "Take these back to my father," he told Channa, "and tell him I will return only when I have found the truth." Channa, though heartbroken, obeyed. Kantaka, it is said, died of grief upon parting from his beloved master. The quest for enlightenment, Siddhartha wandered through forests and villages, seeking wisdom from renowned teachers like Alara Kalama and Udaka Ramaputta. Though he mastered their teachings, he realized their methods did not lead to ultimate liberation. Determined to go further, Siddhartha joined 5 ascetics, Kondana, Bhadiya, Vapa, Mahanama, and Asaji, who practiced extreme austerities. For 6 years, Siddhartha endured severe self-mortification, fasting until his body was gaunt. His cousin Devadatta, now a monk, often visited him, criticizing his methods. One extraordinary moment occurred when Siddhartha collapsed from exhaustion while meditating. A young village girl, Sujata, offered him a bowl of rice milk, reviving his strength. Her act of kindness led Siddhartha to realize that neither indulgence nor deprivation led to truth. "This is the middle path," Siddhartha declared, "a path of balance between extremes." The enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. At Bodh Gaya, Siddhartha seated himself beneath a Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he attained enlightenment. As he meditated, Mara, the lord of illusion, sought to distract him. Mara sent storms, demons, and even his daughters to tempt Siddhartha. Unshaken, Siddhartha touched the earth with his right hand, calling it to witness his resolve. The earth trembled, and Mara fled in defeat. On the 49th day of meditation, Siddhartha attained enlightenment. He realized the 4 noble truths. 1. Life is full of suffering, dukkha. 2. Suffering is caused by craving and attachment. 3. There is a way to end suffering. 4. The Eightfold Path leads to liberation. Siddhartha had become the Buddha, the awakened one, spreading the teachings. The Buddha's first sermon at Sarnath, delivered to the 5 ascetics, marked the beginning of his mission. He explained the middle path, the 4 noble truths, and the Eightfold Path. The 5 ascetics became his first disciples, forming the Sangha, or monastic community. Among his many followers were extraordinary individuals. Ananda, his devoted cousin and attendant, who memorized his teachings. Kassapa, a former fire-worshipping ascetic, who became a key disciple. Ambapali, a courtesan who renounced her wealth to follow the Buddha. Even his estranged cousin, Devadatta, joined the Sangha, though his jealousy led him to plot against the Buddha later. Final journey and legacy. At the age of 80, the Buddha fell ill in Kushinagar. Lying under a pair of sal trees, he gave his final teachings. "All compounded things are impermanent," he said. "Strive on with diligence." As he entered Mahaparinirvana, final liberation, the earth shook, and his disciples wept. But Ananda reminded them of the Buddha's wish, to carry forward his teachings. The eternal light. The Buddha's life is a story of transformation, from a sheltered prince to an enlightened teacher. His teachings on mindfulness, compassion, and liberation continue to inspire millions worldwide. Through his extraordinary journey, the Buddha illuminated a timeless truth. Peace and happiness are not found in wealth or power, but in understanding the nature of existence and cultivating inner wisdom. The end.
Conditional sentences. If Siddhartha had not left the palace, he would not have discovered the path to enlightenment. This is a third conditional, describing unreal past situations and their imagined outcomes. Relative clauses. These clauses add essential or extra information about a noun. Siddhartha, who was born in Lumbini, became the Buddha. The Eightfold Path, which leads to liberation, is central to Buddhism. Relative clauses are introduced by who, which, that, and where. Vocabulary highlights. Descriptive adjectives: extraordinary, remarkable or exceptional, frail, physically weak or delicate, profound, deep and meaningful, serene, calm, peaceful. Thematic terms: these terms relate to spirituality and philosophical ideas. Enlightenment, spiritual awakening or realization. Asceticism, a lifestyle of self-denial and simplicity. Renunciation, the act of giving up something, often for a higher purpose. Impermanence, the transient nature of all things. Verbs of action and change. To meditate, to focus the mind for spiritual growth. To renounce, to formally give up something. To proclaim, to announce or declare publicly. To attain, to achieve or accomplish. Useful phrases: final birth refers to spiritual liberation, a concept in Buddhist philosophy. Middle path, a balanced approach to life, avoiding extremes. Idioms and expressions. Idioms help learners understand figurative language. Turn over a new leaf, meaning to start afresh or make a significant change. Context: Siddhartha's great renunciation symbolizes turning over a new leaf. Face one's demons, meaning confront inner fears or challenges. Context: Siddhartha faced Mara under the Bodhi tree, battling temptations and illusions. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, meaning great endeavors start with small beginnings. Context: Siddhartha's quest began with his decision to leave the palace. Let go of the past, meaning to release emotional attachments to previous experiences. Context: Siddhartha renounced his royal life to pursue spiritual growth. Contrast for effect: neither indulgence nor extreme deprivation led to truth. The use of neither nor highlights opposites, emphasizing the middle path. Symbolic language: the text uses symbols to convey deeper meanings. The white elephant represents purity and wisdom. Lotus flowers blooming beneath Siddhartha's feet symbolize spiritual awakening. The Bodhi tree, a symbol of enlightenment and perseverance. This story offers a chance to practice English while reflecting on profound lessons about life, happiness, and wisdom. Thank you for joining us on StoryWise English. Listening again to the story can improve your understanding. Every replay is a step closer to fluency. See you in the next story, where every word brings you closer to mastering English.